have determined the direction of inertia force on the connecting rod, we can find out the magnitude of the other forces, like what is the thrust acting on the piston, what is the net load on the piston, what will be the magnitude of the reaction force on the sidebars, then what will be the crank effort. Everything can be calculated. How? Let us see. Now, along this piston, we know that certain gas pressure is acting. So if I say what is the load on the piston, that load will be equal to pi by 4 d square into P, where P is the gas pressure and D is the diameter of the piston. Now if it is a single acting, obviously that will be D. If it is double acting, the expression here will be something different. Similarly, what will be the magnitude of inertia force? The magnitude of inertia force on the piston or the reciprocating part will be mr into omega square r. So that also can be calculated. How? That will be mr into omega square into, from the acceleration diagram, omega square into no. So mr omega square no, this gives us the magnitude of the inertia force. The load on the piston or the axial thrust on the piston can be calculated by this formula. So if I say what is the net pressure on the piston, Fp, that will be equal to Fl minus Fl. Fine? Fl minus Fl. Why minus Fl? Because now the acceleration is acting in this direction, so the inertia force will be acting in the opposite direction. So both of them are having two different directions of motion. Otherwise, if it would have been a case of acceleration, then both of them would have been positive. Okay. So this is Fp. So Fp means what is the net force which is acting on the piston P, Fp. Similarly, we are also having a reaction force here, that is Fn, which is normal to the guide bars. So this is Fn. So these are the two forces, Fp and Fn, which are perpendicular to each other. As there is a load of the connecting rod, so we know that this weight will be acting in the downward direction. That means W, we can name it as WR or WC specifically. WC is the weight of the connecting rod. This is acting in the downward direction. In this direction, there will also be another force, that is force of the crank, which is represented by Fr. See, I am not representing this by Fc because in that case both of them will be Fc. So let us name this as Fr. That means the force acting on the crank. And at this point, at the point C, there will be a torque acting in the upward direction, which is known as the crank effort, Ft. This is the force, Ft, crank pin effort. And what is the crank effort? Ft multiplied by R. That means this is the actual torque which is required for rotation of the crank. So now the question is how we are going to find out the magnitude of all these unknown forces. This can be calculated very easily with the help of instantaneous center method. We know that in a mechanism, if the mechanism is in equilibrium, then all the forces are actually rotating with respect to a certain fixed point, and the moment due to those forces are being balanced by each other. So the system remains under dynamic equilibrium condition. Similarly, in that case, in this particular case, how can we find out the instantaneous center for this type of mechanism? That means slider crank mechanism. The main idea is for finding out the instantaneous center